Well, friends, we this week have talked about how the Spirit of God lives inside of the hearts of the believers. He lives and dwells inside of us. We are His house. We are the temple of the living God, where His Spirit dwells. And today we're going to go deeper and see what that means for us. What are we capable of seeing happen because the Spirit of God lives inside of us? So many things, friends. But today we're just going to look at a passage in Ephesians chapter 4, and I think it's going to encourage you. Well, believer, let's look at Ephesians 4 and start at reading at verse 1. If you want to follow along the reading, it says this: I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. Paul called himself a prisoner of the Lord because he had given Christ his life. He had surrendered it over to him so that he could do with it as he wished. And this was a surrender that is encouraged for every believer, that we give our lives back to Jesus, that we surrender our life to him. But he says, I beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called. Walking worthy. Walking in the way that the Lord would have us to. So many use the excuse, well, it's not possible to walk worthy. But why would God command us to do it if it wasn't possible? Let's read on. With all lowliness and meekness, it requires humility. With long suffering, it requires the persecution will require that long suffering, that we suffer long in Christ Jesus, that we are willing to give our life back to Him even in times of suffering. Forbearing one another in love. Loving others isn't always an easy task, is it? Often we can be hurt, and that makes it challenging to respond to someone in love, but that's what we are commanded to do. And this is what we are all as believers called into. And it is possible to walk worthy. But how is it that we can have this? Verse 4, there is one body and one Spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. You see, the reason that this is all possible for us to forbear one another in love, to live in meekness and lowliness and humility, to walk worthy according to the vocation wherewith we are called. Friends, in and of ourselves, it is not possible to do those things. But it is only possible because that He lives in us. It says, it's one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. It makes it possible to live a life where we can walk worthy of the vocation we are called. We can walk worthy, friends. You know, we excuse things often. Well, I live in the flesh. I can't help it. And yes, we can. As believers, we can. Because His Spirit lives inside of us, always leading and guiding us in the right direction, in the right path, and will always bring the right outcome. Think about that. And in Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 and 23, it talks about the fruits of the Spirit, which is the product of having His Spirit inside of you. And one of those that's listed there is faith. We have the faith that is needed to walk worthy. Another one of those fruits of the Spirit is joy. We have the joy that is needed to walk worthy. Another fruit of the Spirit is peace. We have the peace of God that passeth understanding. We have the peace necessary to walk worthy, to forbear one another in love. to respond in a loving way when maybe something has been done to us that hurts us. What's the first thing we want to do when we're hurt? We want to hurt the person back or let them know that they've hurt us. If you shut them out, you're giving them a response of, when you close them off, when you shut them out, you're trying to hurt them. Or maybe your way of hurting others is verbal. Maybe your way of harming others is more physical. But we are capable as believers because He is in you all. Jesus, His Spirit, is inside of us all. And so we are capable of walking worthy of this vocation. We need to quit excusing, well, I can't help myself. Well, we live in 2025. There's so many temptations out there. There's so many distractions out there. Friends, that's true. But we can still walk worthy because He is in you all. He lives inside of us. And it is possible to do the right thing, even when you don't think that it is. It is. Let's read that verse again. In verse 2, it says, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love. That is what He said is walking worthy. Think about that. Have you, like myself, excused things away? Have you said it's just too hard, maybe given up, thrown in the towel, said, I can't do it? Today, friends, it's a good reminder that we can. We are capable of walking worthy. We are. We have been given His Spirit. And that Spirit, and all of those fruits of the Spirit that are mentioned there in Galatians 5, He doesn't pick and choose and say, well, I'm going to give so-and-so the joy and I'm going to give the other person the peace. No, it comes with every believer, all of those fruits of the Spirit. So be encouraged today that you have a helper. And He will help you and lead you and guide you into right paths with a good outcome. It doesn't mean that it doesn't come with its set of challenges, maybe persecution, maybe some sufferings because of the wrongs that others have done to you. But Jesus says, you are capable of walking by my Spirit worthy. It is only by His Spirit. Remember that. Not in and of ourselves, by His Spirit. He is in you all, every believer. Well, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining the Amazing Grace Bible study today, Lord willing. We'll be back again next week with new teachings, as we typically drop in our teachings every Monday through Friday. God bless you all.